Good afternoon, good morning. Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. Hope everyone's healthy, safe, and well. Welcome back to Loyalty Live. Loyalty Live is our twice a week series where we talk to the leaders in customer channel and brand loyalty about some of the challenges and opportunities they're seeing in the industry, looking at the technology and trends that are impacting brands' ability to drive long-term engagement and, most importantly, customer loyalty. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Carlos Dunlap-Beard. I've known Carlos for a long time, good friend. I've been a stalwart of the industry for a number of years. Lots of insight he brings. He's currently the VP of Business Development and Loyalty Solutions for Clarus Commerce. Carlos, how are you today?
I'm great, Mark. Life is good to an old man. How about you?
I'm doing okay.
Right.
Trying to stay sane with all the kids in the house, but aside that, that's good.
Yeah, I hear you there.
So first off, for those who don't know you, can you give us a little bit about background about yourself and also your role with Clarus Commerce? That'd be good for everyone to know for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in loyalty since '99. It could be '98, but now, as the years go by, I don't really remember all that well. But been around for a while, so I'm kind of an old head in the game. I've worked at multiple loyalty agencies. I could list them all, but nobody really cares about all that. But I do think that has given me kind of a good and probably vast perspective on the loyalty marketing industry, especially as it relates to service providers, what we do, how we work with brands, how one agency differs from another, and all that. So, I right now I'm at Clarus, obviously, and I love being here. It's a different kind of loyalty service provider, and then we'll probably touch on some of those things as we go. But I spent most of my career in a role similar to the one I have at Clarus, as VP of Loyalty Solutions. And basically, I lead the strategy and design of our clients' programs, as well as work with existing clients to continually evolve their programs and offerings to make sure that they stay interesting and engaging to their best customers. And just real quick, just over the years, I've probably consulted with 100 brands in retail, packaged goods, consumer electronics, quick serve, casual dining, entertainment venues like movie theaters, amusement parks, financial services, beauty products, and a lot of other things. So I like to think that I have a little bit of perspective on customer behavior and how to engage consumers.
That's awesome. You definitely have been around for a while and said you're one of the stalwarts in the industry. And I think that the expertise you bring is very unique for sure. Clarus Commerce, kind of a very unique entity in the space, focused on premium subscription programs, driving a lot of unique programs right now. Can you tell us a little bit about Clarus, kind of what you do there, and a little bit about the company for those who may not know, and just what your focus in customer loyalty is with the guys at Clarus?
Yeah, absolutely. So to your point, we do focus on premium loyalty. That's what we do. And we do it for medium to large retailers, both online exclusive or e-commerce, e-tailers, and as well as those that have both an e-com presence and brick and mortar. We provide both the platform and the managed services. So we want to, because our job is to make sure that our clients optimize their loyalty program, because it's important to both parties. It's important to them and it's important to us because of the way our financial structure works. We don't charge for programs. We don't charge an implementation fee nor an ongoing management or platform fee. So it's incumbent upon us to get it right. So we definitely partner like a real partner, skin in the game kind of partner, because we don't make a dollar unless the program is successful and starts attracting and maintaining and retaining members. So, so that's kind of how we work. We have a very different approach to loyalty, and it's one of the things that drew me to Clarus, and that's why I love being here.
That's awesome. So can you talk a little bit more about premium loyalty, how it's different from a traditional program, kind of what the benefits are, especially with regard to maybe the financial revenues and kind of the efficacy you see in the program? It is definitely an area that's kind of getting a lot more attention, demanding a lot more attention, a lot more interest with members of Loyalty360 in our audience, but would love to hear kind of how you position it and kind of how you think it's unique in the market.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. How we position it is that it's premium loyalty is a loyalty program that delivers a superior value proposition to consumers and immediate financial returns for brands. I mean, simply consumers, they do pay a membership fee in exchange for exclusive and enhanced benefits. The benefits that are just above and beyond the traditional loyalty program. Again, having designed more than 100 programs, I would say that usually the value proposition for programs are about 1%. If you think about like a 1% cash back, if you just want to think about it in monetary terms, as opposed to premium, which is about a 10% cash back. So there's a big difference in spending $100 and getting $1 or spending $100 and getting $10. And so that's kind of where premium, that's the foundation of premium. Then it has all the other elements, such as instant rewards, free shipping, free returns, exclusive other benefits and such, like access and things and events. But of course, a lot of those things are kind of delayed these days, but they'll be back up and running soon enough. So it's important now that brands are thinking about more digital stuff, but we'll get to that in a minute. But there are a lot of brands that are out there doing it these days, like Lululemon, and the way they give away the free pants or free items, free shipping, classes, and then other elements that they do that are around the lifestyle. And then GameStop, Wayfair, CVS, Kpis, Restoration Hardware are all other kind of examples of premium loyalty type programs. They're all a little different, but those are kind of examples.
That's awesome. You talked about Lululemon and some of the things they do. Can you give the audience some other examples of some notable premium loyalty programs?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit out there. I mean, like I said, GameStop is out there. They have multiple levels of membership, whether it's a $19 annual membership or a $15 membership. If you don't want the printed magazine, you want to go digital. It's like discounts on games, new games. It's a bigger discount on used games. It's a higher value on trade-ins. It's first access to new games that come out. It's those kinds of things that make being a member worth being a member. Yep. Another one that I really like, maybe because I had something to do with the design and implementation of it, and I hope they come back, is AMC Theaters and the Stubs Rewards program. I just think that one is brilliant in the way it was done, because it took a lot of the assets that the theater has, that consumers like me and you and I guess others who are like avid moviegoers, just we place a great perceived value on popcorn or beverages or candy or whatever, or assigned seating or first access to movies. And they take those assets and they put them in the program as benefits. You order a medium popcorn, you get a large. You order a medium beverage, you get upgraded to a large. You get the VIP line for Premier Plus. So when I go to theater and I want to get my concessions because I'm running late as I usually do, and I got like 10 minutes, I can't wait in a long line, I go into my Premier Plus VIP line, or my Stubs Premier line rather, and I get to jump ahead of those other 10 people over there. They look at me a little weird, but it's okay. I have status. You want to do this, then pay up and do this. So those are kind of examples, and it just shows that it's about understanding the value of customers, and it's also about monetizing a loyalty program and understanding that consumers are willing to pay for things they value most.
Okay, interesting. So when you look at customer loyalty today, what is the biggest challenge, biggest opportunity for brands, for marketers out there? Is it premium loyalty? Is it personalization? Is it kind of creating deeper engagement? Obviously, there's a lot of transition now. So what's the biggest opportunity you see?
Well, I still think that one of the biggest opportunities is differentiation and really understanding what customers are looking for these days, because easy, efficient, time saving is key these days. Even though it seems like we've got nothing but time since we transitioned from working at home to living at home,
Right.
Most of us anyway. It's it's still important to differentiate and to make the process easy and efficient. Um, I don't, I think that what we found, like we found in our 2020 data study that we did, that nearly 2/3 of customers say their loyalty is like more difficult than ever. So they realize that, and especially when their mind is elsewhere these days. So it's incumbent upon us to do things differently, to do things to capture their attention, and do things that are in favor of the client as opposed to being in favor of the brand. And I know a lot of brands are, or especially retailers may be struggling to even stay alive and relevant right now. So that's a big ask. So I get it, but it's still the right thing to do. And if for most of them who are going through restructuring and Chapter 11s and everything else, it that buys them time to do it the right way. And so it's all about, again, a better value proposition and experiences and other things. And I think that that's a way to take advantage of this opportunity we've been given.
Absolutely. What, when you look at the kind of the state of the landscape right now, can you name a brand or maybe a few that you think are doing an exceptional job of creating customer loyalty, and why?
Yeah, I already mentioned AMC Theaters, but they're kind of down right now until, and we'll see if they even make it back. I hear conflicting stories. But Starbucks is traditionally just awesome at what they do, even though it's not a premium loyalty program. But the way they understand customers, listen, evolve. Hell, I remember it was like 3 years ago. So if I'm thinking it's three, that means it's probably 5 or 6. But that they went from the almost like punch card style loyalty to going on value based loyalty, because a venti coffee is not the same value as a venti caramel macchiato. It's there's the price points are probably $1 versus $4, or $2 versus $6. So putting the value on the value of the customer and the revenue they bring in and is more important. They made that switch. A lot of people thought, oh, you made a big mistake, but they did the right thing. And then now I think they're continuing to listen, and now they're evolving to the point they're looking at different payment options in their app, so you don't have to preload your app, with $25 or $50, which was one of the things I would never do. So I stayed away from the Starbucks program. It didn't benefit me much because I wasn't willing to preload dollars. So if they're looking at this change, then they might win me back as a more frequent customer. And then I talked about Lululemon and what they're doing, and the fact that their brand is about the lifestyle of their customer. Mostly women. They have some men's apparel going on now and other things, but it's all about supporting the lifestyle of the healthy customer, healthy woman, and some men. So it's I really like what they're doing, and they're putting good efforts behind that.
Absolutely. You mentioned AMC and as a brand that you're loyal to. Are there other brands that you're loyal to, and why?
Yeah. Well, it probably says a lot about me, but I guess the first brand that I'm loyal to is Maker's Mark Bourbon. Because I just love it. I love the bourbon. I love the way they communicate with me. I love the way they present their product. The program is awesome just because I'm able to, put my name on barrels. So I'm on my second barrel right now, which takes some years to go through the process, like 7 years or so. So I'm ready for barrel number 2 to be hatched in about 2 years. Every year they send me some kind of branded reward, actually multiple times a year. They send me like branded bourbon ball makers or scarves for my bottles or whatever else. And I think that's pretty cool. Plus, I think I was really cemented as a loyal Maker's Mark customer when I took the tour of the facility and did the whole tasting and understanding how it was made. So I think that's pretty cool. It doesn't mean I drink exclusively Maker's Mark bourbon, because I like to kind of spread my love around and taste others. But Maker's Mark is most definitely my home base. That's where I come back to. And one other brand that I really like is like Apple. I was sold the first time I had an iPhone, then I got a Mac, and then I just think it's really cool because of the ease of use of the products, the fact that it gives me a connection, or rather a tethering to my wife and my 4 daughters, the functionality. They've also brought in music, Apple Pay, Apple TV. I mean, it's just it's a brand that I can get behind. I don't know if they need to come out with a new product every 6 months or so, because I'm not buying stuff that often, but I get the need to continually innovate.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those are some great examples there for sure. When you look at COVID-19, very disruptive, you talk about retailers having financial challenges and reorganizing and filing for kind of protection in some capacity. Obviously, we don't know what's going to hit from one day to the next. But when you look at COVID, how's it impacting your clients? But more importantly, how have you at Clarus Commerce really helped them address these challenges, help them navigate the waters, and build better customer loyalty through it?
Yeah. Well, obviously, this journey hasn't been easy for any of us, but I think it's been better for those of us who were focused on e-com and focused on digital experiences. So we've helped our clients shift order volumes to, from offline to online channels, including away from phone. Some of our clients are kind of old school catalogers, and they get a lot of phone calls, but still a lot of that volume has shifted to the online channel, and they were prepared for that. So that's good. We've helped them with targeting and marketing campaigns that are specific around understanding and being compassionate about what we are all going through, and not just about pushing product. So I think that's huge, and I think the way in which premium loyalty programs are set up allows for that. So I think that it's important as a group that we focus on loyalty and engagement and retention, and not be so set in just selling product. And then a couple of examples is of how it's not going so well for me is I get almost daily, I get an email from Southwest to say, hey, take a $49 flight, and today I got one that says convert your travel funds, into points. I'm like, why would I do that? And why do I can't schedule a flight right now? I have no idea when I'm going anywhere. It's just, that's not really the sensitive kind of message that I was hoping for. Like I got today was one from PetSmart that talked about preparing for dog separation anxiety and getting back to routines like the crate routine and other things. And then at the bottom of their message, so they had videos and things to read through. And at the bottom, they highlighted some deals on toys and crates and other training aids to help with the suggestions that they made. So I think that was probably the way to go, the better way to go in this environment.
We actually had a question on the YouTube channel from our friend Rich Long. Rich wanted to know, can you speak to the coexistence of a brand premium loyalty program along with the traditional points program, like a Panera or AMC, right? How do you integrate them? How do you make them work effectively? And what's the key to making them work so well, or making them work effectively?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't think about them as two different programs. I think about it as one integrated program, and making the premium tier just that, a premium tier. Maybe that's your diamond tier or whatever else, but it requires a fee to join it. Some customers, if they're really, really good customers, you might want to kind of grandfather them into it or pay the fee, their first year fee, to give them an experience. So what it will do is obviously up the value proposition for those members. They'll see more earnings, more opportunity, more access, more benefits. But they definitely exist and can exist well together. So the strategy, so then the decision is, do I launch with a free program and then bring on that premium tier? But if you already have a free one, then yeah, you just bring on the premium tier. The other way is start with the premium tier, as AMC Theaters did many moons ago, kind of 2010-ish. Started with a premium tier that did gangbusters. They had like 2 million members in the first year. And then they then launched a free tier a few years after that got a larger swath of consumers, but the premium membership premium program never, died out and stayed strong. So, there's just different ways of going about it, but they definitely can coexist.
Okay, great. COVID obviously been impactful. We all know that. Can you talk maybe about a brand or two? It could be a client of yours that has successfully, reinvented themselves or repositioned themselves during this. It could be, buying online and picking up curbside, or even repositioning the brand. I was talking yesterday with an entity that was doing UV lighting and how they've repositioned their whole cleaning business. So you have a couple examples about some brands that are reinventing themselves or repositioning themselves during COVID?
Yeah, there's a few things. So one of our clients is Shop HQ, and they have a traditional premium loyalty program working right now. I should say traditional, but they have a premium loyalty program right now. One of the things that they're looking to do is to make ways for members to be members, even if they're not premium loyalty members, and still get some kind of extra benefit for being a Shop HQ customer and loyalist. So we're working with them on that, and I think that's the right approach. Don't penalize them. Look for opportunities to engage with them. The client a brand that isn't ours, but they are a partner of ours, is Walmart. And I just think they're doing a good job with the buy online, pick up in store. They're really working hard to figure out how to make this new environment work for everyone, keep their employees safe, keep the consumers safe by the way they manage the aisles, almost kind of like one-way aisles, like a one-way street,
right.
Social distancing markers, and keeping keeping the health of everybody in play. And I think that's pretty cool. I do have one other example. So I had this experience last week where I had to take my dog to the vet. She was due for her kennel cough and some bordetella and whatever else. And so I made the appointment, and I was told, hey, just pull up and call us when you get there. So I called up when I pulled in the lot. And usually when I go to the vet, there's like 1 or 2 other cars in the lot. This time I went, there were like 8 or 9 other cars in the lot. I didn't really count, but I thought, holy moly, there's a lot of people here. And then as soon as I called, about 2 minutes later, someone came out from the staff, grabbed my dog out of the back seat, took her inside, did the do. They gave her 2 shots, and clipped her nails, brought her back, put her back in the back seat, took my card, went in, ran the charges, gave me my card back, and I was out in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, a drive-through vet visit. I'm thinking, man, that's awesome. So my thinking is, we as service providers, as loyalty professionals and thought leaders, as well as the brands, man, how can we come up with ways that make that kind of experience more routine? That makes it easier, more efficient, more, just actually more satisfying in a sense. And even if I have to give up a little bit of a value proposition, I'm willing to do it for that kind of experience. So I just thought that was really cool, really unique. And I would bet that Family Hospital, which is my vet here in St. Louis, I bet they've seen an increase in business because of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had the same experience. I had a puppy about a month and a half ago, and we took him for his first shots, a little behind. 2 weeks ago, the same thing, got him, got both the dogs, and in and out. And they actually let us go kind of run some errands, and we came back an hour later and everyone's done. So I think it definitely helps from a service perspective, you have to wait that hour in the kennel, which is nice.
Yeah.
What one piece of advice would you share with brands, who are looking to enhance their customer experience, strategy, customer engagement strategies right now? You kind of talked about personalization. You talked about relevancy. What's one piece of advice that you would give marketers today?
Wow. I don't know if there's one piece, but I would say that consider the customer above all else. I mean, we've been talking about this for a long time. I mean, if I only had $1 every time we talked about customer centricity or put the customer first or whatever else, but really that's the way to go about it. I mean, I just think that we are missing opportunities to really engage with customers and really drive that loyalty, because we're not paying attention to the data. We're not paying attention to the trends. We may not even be paying attention as close as possible to the current environment. And I think there's just opportunity, especially in difficult times like these, to do it better.
Right. And what are some of the things that your clients, the brands that you work for at Clarus Commerce, are asking from you right now, or maybe asking from some of your other friends in the industry? What are some things that brands are asking for right now in their customer loyalty efforts?
Discounts, even though we don't charge a fee, so we don't have to necessarily give a discount. But brands are hurting. A lot of them are hurting. I mean, a few of them are still rocking it, and some are doing even better in this environment, but most of them are not. So how do we help them stay alive? How do we help them with their finances? They're asking for innovation. How do we find a way to better engage customers and still keep them coming? And then I would say the third thing would be, how do I maintain my online presence and the volume that I'm seeing there, even when my stores reopen, or some of my stores reopen, or however it goes. So they're asking us to be more thoughtful and more creative in our approach.
Last question I think we have is, what's next for customer loyalty? Is new technologies, new personalization, partnerships? What do you think is the next big thing for customer loyalty?
Besides going online and picking up in store and all that stuff, I think that I think the next big thing is we've collected a lot of data over the years, and not many brands use it well. And again, I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just stating what I see,
Right.
Based off of talking to brands. I mean, they have a lot of data, but there's not a lot of personalization. There's not a lot of targeted, meaningful offers and understanding what customers are all about, and that's unfortunate. I also think that the second part of that is, I think there's an opportunity to innovate with good partnerships. Like just one example, again, just there's a brand I ran across recently called Pickup. And I think you can see what they do at, like, I think their website is pickupnow.com. I'm in no way affiliated with them, but the thing I like about them is that they offer like a same day delivery service. I think they partner with brands like At Home and Home Goods, World Market, Bye Bye Baby, and whoever else. But I think about this in a bigger context. I moved in February, bought a washer dryer from from Home Depot. Had to wait about a week for delivery. It came damaged, had to send it back. Samsung got on the phone. They wanted to send me another one in like 3 weeks because it was out of stock. That didn't work for me. Had to go back up to Home Depot and fight with them. But they were pretty helpful, and they just gave me a different model, an upgraded model, actually, for the same price. So yay. But what if, when I was checking out, instead of paying that $99 delivery fee and getting it in a week, if they had in their point of sale system integrated this pickup organization, and they say, hey, for $10 more, or for 125, whatever, they could have said 200 probably, you'll get it today. And same day, and we'll call them. We'll once we put this in here, your address is in here. We hit this option. They'll be here to pick it up within 30 minutes and have it to your house in an hour. Would you pay for that? And I'm like, yes, I'd pay for that. Heck yeah, I'll pay for that. So I just think that that's an opportunity for businesses to really think about how they can add a better, more efficient, more immediate level of service than what they do today. Again, that's just an example, but I think that's pretty
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a unique perspective for sure. Well, what about the industry? Is there anything that we can do, Loyalty360 can do for you, for kind of the technology providers, or are there questions you'd like to ask us?
Well, yeah. I'm just, I've talked to a lot of brands over a lot of years, but you talk to a lot of brands right now, a lot of brands in multiple industries as your membership base. What are they asking for from people like us, like a Clarus, like a Kobe, an Epsilon, whoever else? What are they looking for that we can help them with?
I think there are a couple things that we see. You touched on partnerships. Partnerships are very important for brands right now. They want to know, how do they kind of expand their customer base with organizations that have kind of like-minded and mutually kind of advantageous customers, right? So customer bases, should I say? I think there's an interest in partnerships. I think one of the things that we continue to see more and more, especially coming through COVID, is some of the technology out there has been somewhat challenging. The ability to set up new programs, the ability to configure new promotional opportunities have been very, very challenging for marketers. So they want flexibility. I think they're looking for new technology options. We're helping brands kind of select new providers. So I think that's a big challenge. KPIs, as we know, continues to be a kind of an interesting one as well. How do you measure engagement? How do you measure net, customer lifetime value? We're doing some things in that regard. So I think there's a lot. It's the technology do what it actually says it does. We have this idea called the logo jungle. A lot of times when you're presenting to clients, they'll see the same 5 logos, right? They'll see Starbucks, they'll see a McDonald's, they'll see a Hilton, they'll see a JetBlue, and like, oh, we run their program. Like, do you really run that program? So there's a lot of confusion. They want simplicity, they want to create different engagement, and they're struggling with how to do it. So partnerships, but having a community and other brands that they can talk to, I think is very important. And simple technology that can truly be relevant and actionable and configured in a timely manner that doesn't take a PhD in Boolean logic to set some of these programs up. I think that's really what we continue to hear, those 3 or 4 things.
Yeah. Okay. Just one more question. How about this? Let me focus specifically on retailers, since that's kind of our niche here at Clarus. Anything that's different for retailers? Anything that, I know there's a lot of them are struggling, but anything that you see going on there that might be of note?
Yeah, I think it's dealing with uncertainty in retail, right? Not knowing if your store in Iowa is going to be open while your store in New York City may be closed or shuttered. Dealing with that's a big piece. And what we continue to hear is the balance in communication cadence. So how do you stay relevant and drive revenue, drive engagement, drive customer loyalty, but also have that empathy, right? So there's a balance between empathy and engagement. You have to be sensitive to the employees, the challenges they're going through, the changing behaviors you mentioned earlier. So I can't go into, Target in the same way as I may have, because, I might be scared. So how do you, reach out to that person knowing that person may not want to go in store, that may have to pick up, in kind of online or curbside. So I think it's balancing the empathy and engagement and driving revenue, but, being relevant and personal and altruistic. I think it's very challenging for brands right now, trying to find that mix between the two.
Yeah, I agree. And I know I was critical of Southwest earlier, but I guess they still do need to sell seats and get people in planes. But
Yeah,
it's
delicate
tough for me to
balance,
think
right?
about traveling right now.
And I think I think one of the things that what it's done is for a lot of people is it's truly trying to put yourself in your shoes, right? So if conferences are canceled or events are canceled, sometimes they may not have the ability to give everything back to the person. So if you pay it forward and try to be flexible, I think everyone's having challenges right now, and truly listening to and understanding the customers is more important than ever before. And just as you mentioned earlier, putting yourself in that person's shoes, whether it's a brand and, or a supplier or a friend or whomever, it's really, I think it's what we need to do as a kind of a society. And it's hard to do, but I think we see more of it. And even Lonnie Main talked about it a few weeks ago, just that whole ideas of red shoes living and red shoes rising. There's just a great opportunity to do that and kind of elevate the discussion. And most importantly, with people like you, truly elevating this industry, I think is, what excites me. And we see a lot of that, which is great.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Carlos. Thanks everyone for listening. Thank you to the couple people asked questions on YouTube Live, and look forward to our next one. I think we have one on Friday, and thank you again.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. See you soon.